Name a bad Magic the Gathering card. I'm going to tell you why it's good. We're going to start off with Survivor of the Unseen, which was picked out by John. This is a 3-mana, 2/1 human wizard, cumulative upkeep of 2, which looks bad at first, but you got to check out this ability. Tap, draw 2 cards, and put a card from your hand on top of your library. This is a combo piece to draw through your entire deck with Mind Over Matter, which lets you draw a card, choose, discard a card, tap or untap target artifact, creature, or land. So as you're drawing, and you're netting a card with this card. If you play Survivor of the Unseen, pass the turn, and you have a cumulative upkeep trigger, you can draw your entire deck at your upkeep and then just not even pay for this thing. Or pay for it with all the cards that you've basically drawn with the Mind Over Matter. It's not going to be a problem because you tap, draw 2, put a card back on top of your deck, but then you're going to discard a card to untap this and go through the whole damn thing. So Survivor of the Unseen is just like another, in my opinion, it's just another Azami piece. It's a second version of Azami. You can only have one Azami in your deck, people. Survivor of the Unseen is an unseen secret sauce of those archetypes. Okay, we got Toilet Duck with Gwendolyn DeCourcy. What, no love for Gwendolyn here? A Grixis legendary creature. It's 3/5, which is actually pretty good even by today's standards. Tap, target player discards a card at random. Activate this ability only during your turn. I don't even know why this is even debatable. They're not even discarding something they want to do. They don't have a whole lot of random stuff these days. They could discard their only lands in their hand. You activate this, make them discard their land. They needed that land. It's very hard to get people to discard lands, people. Hymn to Turok is OP for that very reason. I mean, making them discard lands when they don't want to discard lands. Very underestimated. Next up, we got a super chat from Meme Bruley. My favorite bad card, One with Nothing. This is sort of honestly... This is not hard. It's not the most beautiful card in the world, but you'll discard your hand and feed all your graveyard strategies. Let me just dredge away. Instant Threshold. Instant Delirium. Instant Reanimation. I think this card, it may not be super underrated, but it's not as bad as people say. There might be better cards out there, but that doesn't mean this card is actually... The fact you don't see this seen competitive play doesn't mean it's necessarily that bad. Next up, let's get some interesting ones. We have Charging Batter with Ember Shot. So Ember Shot looks expensive, but if you have like a ton of mana on the battlefield, you need something to sink that mana into, and this is one of the best things because it is one of the very few cards in red that let you draw a card. Instant, Ember Shot deals 3 damage to target creature or player and draw a card. So if you've achieved a position where you're like basically making infinite mana, you need to be able to draw into more cards to keep that engine going. What's the point of having an infinite mana combo when you have nothing to use on it? I think Ember Shot is one of the best cards in order to facilitate the situations where you have infinite mana. Next super chat we got from Little Dead Fly. It is, I dare you to justify Malignant Growth. Challenge accepted. Malignant Growth is a 5-mana enchantment, cumulative upkeep of 1. You'll be able to keep it in play for quite a few turns because, hey, you spent 5 mana. You'll be in here for at least 5 turns. During your upkeep, put a growth counter on Malignant Growth. During target opponent's draw phase, they draw an additional card for each growth counter on Malignant Growth. For each card that opponent draws in this way, Malignant Growth deals 1 damage to them. So what you really want to do is proliferate the crap out of this card, bump up the counters, make your opponent draw themselves either to death or you're actually going to just kill them with kindness. And I can't remember, what is the card that actually... The Black Vise, I think? Black Vise? This is excellent in a Black Vise deck. An artifact that says, when enters the battlefield, choose an opponent. At the beginning of the chosen opponent, the player's upkeep, it'll deal X damage to that player, where X is the number of cards in their hand minus 4. So if you're giving them more cards and dealing damage to them at the same time, super good combo with Black Vise. So if they like start in the turn with like 7 cards, beautiful. take 3 damage. Also, the extra damage that came from Malignant Growth. You're going to want to keep this in play for as long as possible. Also, keep adding counters to this as long as possible. Next up, we've got... Let's get Magnum Opus Gold Foresight. I'm going to, by the way, I'm going to prioritize unique bad cards, because we've done this show a few times in the past. So give me some unique bad cards people wouldn't expect. Foresight, a 2-mana sorcery. Search your library for any 3 cards and remove them from the game. Shuffle your library afterwards. Draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. This has a few purposes. Now, first off, you could thin your deck of lands. Second off, you know how you main deck some cards in your deck just in case? For example, let's say we're an Izzet deck and we've got Pyroblast in our deck because we want to play Pyroblast, Red Elemental Blast for the blue metagame out there. But then you're in a pod without any blue players. Well, just play Foresight and get rid of all those bad main deck cards out of your deck and also draw a card at the same time. So you at least, you can play it so that you still have that upside with those main deck hate cards. But if those main deck hate cards don't work out for you, just get them out of the deck. Easy. Next up, we've got... Oh, I thought even AL, I thought you said Steam Vents. Steam Vines. Never heard of it. It's a 3-mana enchant land. When enchanted land becomes tapped, destroy it, and Steam Vines deals 1 damage to that land's controller. That player moves Steam Vines to a land of their choice. This is fantastic. I mean, so the point is that if they give it to you, you're going to give it back to them. You want to be low on your curve. It's like... It's basically Stone Rain again and again and again. And so long as you keep your opponent very short on lands, they have to tap it. Either they use it or it's lost one way or another. Either they're going to tap the land and blow it up, or they don't tap the land and it was as good as like a Ponza. Or sorry, it was good as a regular Stone Rain, except it can also deal an additional damage to them. Remember, if they get rid of it, they give it back to you, you can give it right back to them. And you'll be ready. Oh boy, with Melancholy. This is a 3-mana aura, enchant creature. When it comes into play, tap enchanted creature. It's just like pacifism. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Melancholy unless you pay a black. This is strictly for devotion. I mean, if you need removal while also still adding to your devotion for something like, what's it called? The Gray Merchant? I can't remember if it's EY or AY. I never get it right. Well, okay, if people call him Gary, so it must be AY. That's how I'm probably going to have to remember. The Gray Merchant of Asphodel. Do you want to play regular removal spells that just kill your opponent's creatures off? Or do you want to play removal spells that keeps, like, the removal mana on the battlefield? This combos with those Black Gods, Great, and other devotion cards that you would want to play with. So you're better off playing with those cards instead. Next up, how about Ook? Says Islarf. Okay, we'll look at Ook. It's a 2-mana 4/4. Now, it can't attack unless a creature with greater power also attacks. Ook can't block unless a creature with greater power also blocks. Really good offensive card. You can play this on turn 2, and then... Or I guess you'd play, like, Tarmogoyf turn 2, and then maybe Ook turn 3. But the point is, by today's standards, there's a lot of creatures, even for 2 to 3 mana, that can attack with. There's like 2 mana 4/4 really isn't that... in some sense, it's not that special, but it's still pretty good if you really want to be on a low-to-the-ground beatdown type of deck. There's like billions of cards bigger than this. They designed this assuming you wouldn't have big things to attack with, but these days there's tons of creatures that are just as big with it that can attack. So get in the red zone with your Ook. Indiana Jones with Cold Snap. Cold Snap is a 3-mana enchantment, cumulative upkeep of 2. During each opponent's upkeep, Cold Snap deals 1 damage to that player for each snow-covered land they control. It's very... Now, here's the thing. I can't remember what the card is, but a lot of people these days, especially in Commander, are playing with snow-covered lands. So this is just hate against them. I can't remember what the card is. At a high level, you want to be playing with snow-covered lands. I don't remember the metagame. I'm not answering this very well. But you're going to... This card is basically like White Burn. If you're in Boros Burn of some sort, This can deal a huge chunk of damage versus all those fools that were playing around a really niche card. They were not playing around Cold Snap. Does anyone know what that is, though? I can't remember what it was. Whatever. If anyone knows the reason why people play snow-covered lands in Commander, let me know in the comment section below. There's like this really weird niche card for it. I can't remember. I meant you want snow-covered lands because you're running Tainted Pact? Yeah, but not a lot of them. There are some people that just exclusively plays snow-covered land. Yeah, I mean, it's a huge anti-card versus the Scred decks. That's true. Hey, there's snow-covered land players out there. I have to admit, I also play snow-covered lands, but I can't remember the reason. This would just kill me. Kill me on the spot. They would never see it coming. Ben Hud with a Monstrous Hound. Oh, is it Extra Planar Lens? Is the artifact that imprints snow lands for an extra mana? Maybe that was it. Maybe that was it. Well, let's look at Extra Planar Lens. Extra Planar Lens. 3-mana artifact. I think this is it. Enters the battlefield. You may exile target land you control. Whenever a land with the same name as the exiled card is tapped for mana, its controller adds 1 mana of any type that land produced. So, yeah, okay, so whenever a land is with the same name of the exile card is tapped for mana, its controller adds 1 mana. Oh! Yeah, I think this is it. So they exile, like, what, a snow land? But then, they were playing snow lands, so you play snow lands so you can take advantage of your opponent's extra planar lens? Something like that? Okay. That's why you play Cold Snap, baby! You get those extra planar lens players. Okay, Monstrous Hound, 4 mana, 4/4. Cannot attack unless you control more lands than defending player. Monstrous Hound cannot block unless you control more lands than the attacking player. Very easy in red. If you're playing a red-based Ponza-based deck with your Wastelands, Strip Mines, Stone Rains, the whole point is to have more mana than them. So, it's not beautiful. Like, I'm not going to say this is the best value at 4 mana, but it's not the worst thing in the world either. Monstrous Hound. Does that mean, is this? I wanted to see if this was on the reserve list. There could be a chance. Now, mind you, it actually has one extra special feature: is that it is a dog. All right, it says a hound, but in fact, it's been errated to dog. There's not a whole lot of dogs in the game, so you have to pick what you can take, and this is just one of them that you're just gonna have to take it. You gotta take it or leave it. Elixir with the super chat. Shrouded Lore. Shrouded Lore is a black sorcery. Target opponent chooses a card in your graveyard. If you may pay a black. If you do, repeat this process, except that opponent can't choose the card already chosen for Shrouded Lore. Then put that last chosen card in your hand. This is actually really good if you have a lot of control over your graveyard. For example, let's say you have Delve, and you only have one card in your one card left in your graveyard because that's all you left there. It's basically a 1-mana regrowth. A lot of decks that have. So you have Delve, you have Relic of Progenitus. There's a lot of other artifacts that help you sculpt your graveyard. This basically just turns anything in your graveyard into a free regrowth. Well, okay, regrowth at 1 mana. Toads, a Hidden Path. Probably play this in a Tasigur deck, to be honest. This can backfire on you, Nikachu. All right, well, let's see. 6 mana enchantment. All green creatures gain Forest Walk. It's true, but I'm telling you, you're going to be playing this when it benefits you. I mean, if your opponent is playing green creatures, then you just don't play this card. You either discard it to something else, you turn it into fuel, or, you know, just don't play it if it can backfire on you. Only play it the turn that you're going to win and swing for victory. Unblockable is still unblockable. Look, if it's a green versus green deck, everyone's been there. Like, the board gets cluttered. No one can find a way to win. Hidden Path is a way to win. When you play it, you intend on winning that very turn, and your opponent's not going to have a counterattack. Next up, we have Gillum, Rackolites. It's a 6-mana artifact. 2 mana. Prevent the next 1 damage that would be dealt to target creature or player this turn. Return Racolite to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. It's an infinite mana sink, effectively. Because if you have infinite mana, you don't forget about the 1 damage that you're preventing. You're going to prevent all the damage because all of these triggers are going to go on the stack. So when you have infinite mana, you're basically invincible from, like, what, one source? Next 1 damage that will be dealt to target creature or player this turn. Then you and also you return it only at the beginning of the next end step, but you'll be able to replay it on future turns. So when you protect for 1 turn, you're protecting from everything, like literally everything. There's also a chance you can counter the delayed trigger. Like, it doesn't happen immediately like a lot of cards where it's like prevent 1 damage, return this thing back to your hand. No, you can prevent as much damage as you want, and if you can counter the trigger at end of turn, then it's all gravy. Next up, we've got Steve Cooper's Resplendent Mentor. Is it what I found? Did I get that? Resplendent. Yeah, there we go. What I find interesting is like everyone has infinite mana. There's so many infinite mana combos out there, but no one finds like a really good use for any of their cards. Like, what's the point of having infinite mana when you have like no way to actually protect yourself or win the game? Resplendent Mentor is a 5 mana 2/2 Kithkin Cleric. White creatures you control have tap. You gain 1 life. This is like insane. This goes straight into a cleric deck. You ever seen those cleric cards where, like, whenever you gain life, you know, put a +1/+1 counter on all your creatures? This is perfect in that deck. And, like, every single one of those creatures have this ability. It'll, like, be impossible to beat those decks. I hate those cards. You gain 1 life, and then, like, whoa, what this combo with? Was it an Ajani card? Like a small creature? I can't remember. There's a lot of cards like a Johnny's something. Was it Johnny's Pride Mate? There we go. I don't recognize this picture. Just this alone, for example, when you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, and every single white creature on the battlefield would trigger this card. This is not the greatest example. It's just 1 creature. It doesn't completely win the game by itself on the spot, but yeah, clerics are constantly pushed, but still under the radar, because it's all about the synergy, people. And if you kill the synergy, like if you kill all the other creatures, then this card is basically worthless. But it's a synergistic card. Get that synergy, people. Okay, Station Disaster with Refocus. By the way, I am prioritizing cards I've never heard before. If it's like a card that we all heard of, you're gonna be waiting in line. Refocus is a 2 mana instant, untap target creature, draw a card, and it's an insane combat trick. So, oh, you thought I attacked? No. So I swing with my Murktide for 7 damage. You attack, I untap my Murktide, and draw a card out of it. So it's almost like a removal spell. I block, I kill your creature, and I cashed in. Excellent combat trick. 8 Hollow with Caustic Tar. I think I've heard of that card before. I'm not sure. 6 mana! Enchant Land. Enchant Land has tap, target player loses 3 life. Oh! What's wrong with that? This is a bolt every turn. You know, it doesn't even cost that much, because remember, black is one of the ritual colors. Dark ritual this thing onto one of your lands. You have to protect it. Make sure you protect it. This works actually also very well in control decks where you don't want to play with any creatures, so you're like, board wipes are all us. Sorry, board wipes are us. So you kill all the creatures. You're not going to win with creatures on the battlefield. You're going to win with Caustic Tar instead. Okay, we got Accesta with Allure of the Unknown. No one's ever played a deck with no creatures? I guess it's more fun to play with creatures, I suppose. Allure of the Unknown is a 5 mana sorcery. Reveal the top 6 cards of your library. An opponent exiles a non-land card from among them. Then you put the rest of it into your hand. That opponent may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost. Reveal the top 6 cards. An opponent exiles a non-land card from among them. Then you put the rest into your hand. 5 cards? You got 5 cards out of this deal? Like, what on earth did you give them that you can't even deal with? This guy, I mean, so long as you build your deck with no card that can get out of control, like, I don't know, they play like an ultimatum in response, I think this is just all gravy. It particularly is going to be best in a 1-for-1 deck, like removal and individually strong creatures that don't get like too much value by themselves, so that like if they take your biggest creature, you just kill it. If they take a removal spell, well, who cares, because you got like 4 creatures out of this deal. That's just how you have to play that type of deck. Okay, we got John with the super chat. Is Manga Worm any good? This show is all about saying how good these cards are. That's what the show is all about. I'm going to convince everybody. So the problem is that like, a lot of these cards are good, but you got to play. It's not how big it is or how small it is. It's how you play it. Okay, Manga Worm. 4 mana for a 6/5. You can't untap more than 1 land during your untap step. That's not a problem when you're playing it combined with Winter Orb. So you have to play this with, Winter Orb. If it's going to load. Oh, no. Is it going to be one of those days? Winter Orb. 2 mana artifact. As long as it's untapped, players can to untap more than 1 land during each of their untap steps. So you might as well go all in on cards like this. Now, if you can play it with the synergy, but there's another way of playing this. You just give this to somebody. If you need extra Winter Orbs in your deck to punish your opponent, then you give them the Manga Worm. That plus Stasis and Static Orb, I mean, they're going to hate you. They're absolutely going to hate you. So, I mean, so it either can be a card that you play in your Winter Orb deck. It also could be simultaneously just a card that you donate to somebody else. So it's a one-sided Winter Orb. Yes, this is a Winter Orb in creature form. But it's a one-sided Winter Orb. This is the problem. Okay, Fred with Camel. What's wrong with Camel? Such an innocent creature. What's the creature type on Camel? The creature type is Camel. How many camels are in the game? It's got bands. Band is insane. It's one of the craziest abilities in all of Magic. It's a white 0/1. All creatures attacking in a band with Camel are immune to damage done by deserts. The benefit is just the bands. There's not a lot of banding with anything, and this is one of the very few 1 mana band cards. And like banned by, I mean, it bans with other creatures, not actually banned. So, does anyone know what banding does? Like, you get to divide the damage when there's like gang blocks. It's crazy. You're gonna people are just underestimating how good banding is. Fun fact: Camel is dromedary. Nice, I like it. Hot take: Sundering Titan. Not gonna soak up too much time here. Wait, you don't think this card is good? Come on, it's Cube All-Star. I'm not gonna waste my time here. Crowcore Games, the Kitty Coaster. Hey, if you get it at random and hit the dice roll, you get +1. But my God, why? I have to admit, I don't know how this card works. This is just one of those. What the hell does how do you use attractions? Visit, like, this looks like it came from another game. Creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. I don't see anything wrong. Now, I have to admit, I don't know what it takes to get this thing in play. Is it like really hard? Look, some of these numbers at the side are lit up. Some of them are not. Is that like speed? Anyway, it's a lord. It's a lord. You can't go wrong with lording effects. Crowcore Games. Oh, and did I just give you a card? Or was that a card? Okay, I'm going to do your super chat a little bit later. Okay, let's get Lesthian, Fossil Find. It's a 1 mana, it's in Gruul, 1 mana sorcery. Return a card at random from your graveyard to your hand, then reorder your graveyard as you choose. This is another 1 mana regrowth. So you just play this in a deck that has control over your graveyard with Relic of Progenitus, with Delve cards. You just have 1 card in your graveyard. So when you play Fossil Find, you're just going to get that. You're just going to randomly find that 1 card. It's so random. But it's not so random when you have control over your own graveyard. Zach with Meraxis of Keld. Yeah, only 1 mana. Only 1 mana. Sometimes the only thing in your graveyard might be fetch lands that you have to go get. Meraxis of Keld, a 6 mana star. It is a legendary human warrior. It also looks like he works out. Power and toughness are each equal to the total number of untapped artifacts, creatures, and lands you control. Which works great in Commander. You can have this out on like turn 2 between your like mana vaults and soul rings and all the other mana artifacts. It Not to mention, remember, we live in a world where we can make treasure tokens like they're candy, like they grow on trees. So make billions of treasures, just leave them untapped. Don't use them. Don't use them. Just leave them untapped, and you keep building up your Moroxas of Keld. Actually sounds like a sick deck. We don't have chat on screen. Yeah, let's get the chat. We're going to get chat on screen. Okay, we got... Whoops. Okay, Charles, the Tale of Tamio. I love the Tale of Tamio. Who doesn't love it? 3-mana Saga. There's 4 chapters to this thing. Look at that art. I should get a poster of this. Chapter 1, mill 2 cards. If 2 cards that share a card type were milled this way, draw a card and repeat this process. This is card advantage. Super card. You just have to share a card type. This actually might work best in a deck that has very few or no lands. Like I want to say manaless, but like basically almost no land deck. Not to mention, if you can manipulate the top of your deck with, say, Sensei's Divining Top, then you're just basically drawing an extra card every turn while fueling your graveyard. Okay, Chapter 4. Exile any number of target instant sorcery and or Tamio Planeswalker cards from your graveyard, which could be all of them. Copy them. You may cast any number of the copies broken. So if you're playing in a manaless Tale of Tamio deck, this thing's gonna really go off and get like that's like an insane ultimate. It's gonna be worse than a Planeswalker ultimate. Felicia says, didn't that Tamio use from Infinite Milling just recently? I do not doubt it at all. Fox Clouds. Planar Overlay. For a deck with only land, yeah, but how do you win? How do you win with that deck? Is there like is there a commander that can win with a land? Like what are you doing? Trying to mulligan to your 1 Tale of Tamio? I don't know how that deck works. Only lands that, you know, all those decks, they sound like they work in theory. I've tried them. They're terrible. Those decks don't work out so well. Okay, Planar Overlay. 3-mana rare from... What is this called? Plane Shift? I never liked the cards from Plane Shift. But this one is underestimated. Each player chooses a land they control of each basic land type. Return those lands to the owner's hands. You know, everyone hates... What's it called? This works very well in a mono blue deck, right? So this punishes the multicolored decks because you have to choose a land of each basic land type. If you're up against a 5-color deck, sorry, you're gonna boing all those lands back to hand. Upheaval is banned for a reason. I mean, yes, this bounces the permanents too, but what people hate the most about it is it bounces their lands. This is what this card does. It's only going to bounce one of yours, so long as you build around it. Just make sure you're not up against a landfall deck. Might backfire against you. Crowcore Games, your super chats. Famished Paladin. His combo was Resplendent Mentor. Oh, is it? What was that? Resplendent Mentor? 2-mana. Okay, so this is the Cleric. White creatures you control have tap, gain 1 life. And this apparently combos with this card, Famished Paladin, 2-mana, 3/3. It does an untap during your untap step. Whenever you gain life, untap Famished Paladin. Look at that! What a combo, Crowcore Games. What a combo. Everyone buy your Resplendent Mentors, people. It's about to go up. You're an influencer, Crowcore Games. Look what you've done! Can't be taken back. Once that idea has been released into the world, everyone's going to build decks around it. Unlimited health and unlimited power. Okay, we're going to look at more bad Magic the Gathering cards, and I'll tell you why they're good. Well, why they were never bad at all, but we have to thank our Lord and Savior, FusionGamingOnline.com, my favorite sponsor, not only to play in open events, but also to buy my Magic the Gathering cards, like Final Fantasy cards. Tarkir Dragonstorm, you're old news. What are we? Edges of Eternities! And also all these bad cards to make them good. They're cheap. You think nobody wants them, but you're going to want them after I tell you why they're so good on this show. And don't forget, you can get an even bigger deal than what they sell for by using coupon code Nikachu at checkout to get 5% off all your purchases, and it supports the channel. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. Play with an unlimited number of bad cards, bad ideas, turn them into good. Experiment your way to victory when you're renting cards with Mana Traders on Magic Online. You can support the channel renting cards using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 40% cashback on your 3rd month subscription using coupon code Nikachu_AJH. And back to terrible cards. that are actually good. I love the look of Resplendent Mentor. This is great. Absolutely great. Okay, we got Superfield. Charge across the Araba. Charge across the Araba. 5 mana, instant arcane. I wish I knew how arcane cards work properly so I could buff this card even more. It's got sweep. Isn't that it? Yeah, that's an ability too. Return any number of planes you control to their owner's hand. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn for each planes returned this way. Basically, if you're in a mono, there's a few functions to this card. If you're on mono white, this is the moment where you go for that one-shot kill. You got unblockability, you got your planeswalk online, or whatever walk your creatures have, unblockability. Maybe they took to the skies. You have to finish people off, right? Sometimes there's a white crater hoof behemoth out these days. Maybe that's not enough damage. You need like you need a second way of buffing up everything and going for the win with all your millions of tokens, but not exactly billions of tokens. Charge across the Araba will do that. Not to mention, it can also facilitate land drops for, what the hell is that land triggering ability? I can't remember the land triggering ability. You're watching Alzheimer's happen in real time here. Landfall! That's what I was thinking of. It can facilitate landfall. But the main thing that you want to play Charge across the Araba is you attack for 1 million, they make their blocks, and they don't even know you have this. Like, they think you have some stupid card like removal where, oh, destroy target blocked creature, or like blocking creature. No. You're gonna swing for complete victory with this card. If you win the game with this card, you don't care that your lands got bounced back to your hand. You only need one of them in your deck. Okay, next, let's take a look at David's Grip of Chaos. The Grip of Chaos is a 6-mana enchantment. Whenever a spell or ability is put onto the stack, reselect its target at random if it has a single target. Look, if you got if you are not playing a deck where you are going to target anything with your spells or abilities, this is a great card to have in said deck. Because if anyone tries to shoot something of yours with anything, it's never going to hit what they want to hit. And the odds are going to be in your favor. For example, if you have a board full of creatures, let's say you have 10 creatures in play, including the tokens, the odds the removal spell is going to hit the big creature in play is basically, I'm not going to say it's 0. If you have 10 creatures in play, the odds of it succeeding is 10%. So it actually just increases the odds in your favor. I really like this card. Chaos Ensues card type. Absolutely Chaos Ensues. We looked at one with nothing. Christopher B. with Palatian Accord. This is a 5-mana enchantment. Fascinating art. Whenever a creature an opponent controls becomes tapped, put a shield counter on Palatian Accord, or Palliation Accord. Remove a shield counter from Palliation Accord. Prevent the next 1 damage that will be dealt to you this turn. So this is a complete refutation. Hold on. Whenever a creature an opponent controls becomes tapped. So that means if 10 creatures attack, we only get 1 trigger? Is that what this means? Because that makes a big difference. This either could be a hard counter to the token strategies, or it's just fine value as the time goes on. For the most part, so move the shield counter to creatures equal free protection? Absolutely. It's a shield counter. It's basically building the shields. Yeah, proliferate, you just have to move. The trick is moving them. Nope, each. It's each. Okay, so so basically, no 1-power creatures can kill you. That's amazing. Yeah, 10 creatures attack, 10 triggers. So 1 toughness creatures are dead. It basically neuters all the token strategies. I think it's a fantastic card. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. Also adds devotion for the Azorius gods. Okay, next up, who has no card yet? Sheilin, Lady of the Mountain. By the way, I can't tell when it's like whenever a creature. So was it the A that makes it every creature triggers, or is like whenever creatures an opponent control become tapped? I just can't tell based on the wording. Okay, we have a 6-mana 5/5 legendary giant. Look, I'm not gonna sell that this is the best thing since sliced bread, but at the same time, it's a 6-mana 5/5. You play this in draft, you'll beat your opponent down either way. You would absolutely love a 5/5 for 6 in any draft, even by today's standards. It's got no downside. It's got no downside. Put in your Gruul deck. It's vanilla. I can't remember. There's some vanilla lord out there. You'd have to put it in there. I can't remember the vanilla creature though. It's like if creatures with like no text get +1/+1 or some crap like that. This is slander against draft? Probably. Okay, next up. Not really selling this one. You know what? I'm just not saying it's bad. Look, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just not good. It's not like you're spending 6 mana on a 0/3 wall here, all right? You got a beat stick. Exonort, Goblin Test Pilot. It's also a giant. This card is a giant if that's relevant for like the people who like to play Giant Kindred. Okay, Goblin Test Pilot, 3 mana, 0/2 Goblin Wizard with flying. Tap Goblin Test Pilot deals 2 damage to target creature or player chosen at random. Look, it could kill this thing, but the odds are it's gonna kill your opponent first. Okay, what can I really say about this? It's 50-50. It either is going to be extra damage at your opponent or not. Now, I can't remember if we can. Does it say you flip a coin? No, we can't use Cruxon with this. This creature deals 2 damage to any target chosen at random. It's my any target. We have no target. We're not even allowed to choose this damn thing. This has the funniest rules interaction. Please let us know, Croker Games. You can't ever know what happens until it resolves. That's correct. To choose a target at random, all possible legal targets, including creatures and players, must have an equal chance of being chosen. Yeah, let's all read the rules together. All possible targets, including creatures and players, must have an equal chance of being chosen. There are many ways to do this, including assigning each possible legal target a number and rolling a die. The target is chosen at random as part of an activated ability. Players can respond to the ability knowing what the target of the ability is. Goblin Test Pilot is a legal target of its own ability. Not that there is one situation where that's not going to be true, and that is when you and your creatures all have a hex proof. And in that situation, which you can achieve in blue, this thing will never damage any of your stuff and will only damage the opponent and their creatures. That is how you make this card work. It's a lot of effort, I admit. Wonka, Urza's Blueprint. Oops. That was loud. Can you target something that has Shroud? So you'd rebind the activation? Oh, I see. Well, why would you cannon in the first place? Okay, Urza's Blueprint, a 6-mana artifact with Echo of 6. Tap to draw a card. This is a combo card, again, with cards like Mind over Matter. Or basically any card that gives you the ability to untap the permanent, because you only need to play it once. You don't care about the Echo, because you're just going to draw through your entire deck. Also probably putting stuff in the graveyard, filling your graveyard for the purposes of this. So you like pay 6, you draw a card, discard a card to untap your Urza's Blueprints, and then just keep going over and over again. It's a combo piece, people. It's a combo piece. Gotta make use of those combo pieces. Enemy Tactical Chad with Pretender's Claim. 2-mana enchant creature. Whenever enchanted creature becomes blocked, tap all lands defending player controls. It's fascinating. Does it force them to tap it for mana? I can't find mana barbs. Are we playing this in a mana barbs deck? Whenever player taps land for mana. No, I don't. Whenever player taps a land for mana. No, that doesn't count. That doesn't count over there. There's a few cards where, like, whenever this permanent becomes tapped, deals X damage to its controller. Oh, you're bashing Cozy's Trickster? How dare you? How dare you? There are some creatures out there, they basically have to attack. Hold on, whenever enchanted creature becomes blocked, tap all lands. They'll never... I have nothing to say about this thing, but it's a good answer to any creatures that have to attack every single turn, and then you force them to basically show everything that they have to do on their main phase. They never have a second main phase, which is problematic. Because they would prefer to see how you're going to react, how you're going to act in your combat step, and then after that, they play future creatures. Instead, whatever creatures they have, it has to be played immediately on the first main phase, and you have more information for your blockers. Okay, hold on, let's get to this Cozy's Trickster. So this card is not the greatest in competitive Magic as a blue 1/1. Whenever an opponent shuffles their library, you may put a +1/+1 counter on Cozy's Trickster. I actually found that this card is insane in Commander. The reason being is the opponents are constantly fetching. Like, no one really wants to play around this card to slow them down. Like, they're gonna fetch, they're gonna tutor, they're gonna do this and that. Like, so this card actually ends up being like a 5, 6, 7 power creature for 1 mana pretty often. And because there are so many more opponents, because you have more opponents at the table, Cozy's Trickster is way more likely to get bigger and bigger. Felicia, Ristic Cave. Land, tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, unless any player pays 1. You have to play this in a Ristic deck. You play this with Ristic Society, anything that taxes people's mana. They're never gonna pay for this. They're never gonna pay for this. Wait, you have Winter Orb out? They're gonna feel so trapped. So it's effective, like Winter Orb, Static Orb, Stasis. If you play with the Pirates, Rishadan, Cut Purse. What's it called? Can't remember. Yeah, they're Rishadan, Cut Purse, 3 mana. Whenever Rishadan, Cut Purse comes into play, each opponent sacks a permanent unless they pay 1. When they feel that you're playing this archetype, they're never going to pay the 1. They will regret. They will completely regret it. So it is a almost free 5-color land. You ever wanted to play a 5-color land without taking damage? Ristic Cave is your choice. Next, Benjamin Berkey with Merchant Ship. Isn't that like the pirate? It's Merchant Ship. This is a blue 0/2. Okay, I'm not going to read the ancient scripture because I can't even be sure that it's right. This is a human, so you can put in a human's deck. This creature can't attack unless defending player controls an island. No problem. Harbinger of the Seas these days goes in every deck. Whenever this creature attacks and isn't blocked, you gain 2 life. And whenever you control no islands, sacrifice this creature. It's basically blue life gain, which you don't have a whole lot of access in blue. Look, I play mono blue all the time. I have 0 life gain almost all the time. I depend on equipments like, what's it called? Shadow Spear to have any chance at life gain. But this is 1 mana, a 0/2 that can gain life very early on in the game. And, well, not super early, but it can be early enough in combination of Spreading Seas, Tide Shaper, and Harbinger of the Seas to accrue life over and over again. What's really stupid, though, is it should have Island Walk. Like, it literally travels through the islands. But blue doesn't have a whole lot access to a lot of life gain, and especially since in command, and it's going to be good in Commander because there's always someone open, always. Also, you can make them regret for blocking this thing. Alan with Rackolites. Rackolite is, well, we did this one. Sorry about that. It's a great card. Infinite mana, and no one will ever damage you. Sort of. Bulky, Dusk Worker. Dusk Worker is a 4 mana 2/2, and it becomes block regenerated. That's great. What's wrong with that? Pay 3. Dusk Worker gets a +1/+0 until end of turn. Infinite mana. This is an infinite mana sink. It's hard to get infinite mana in colors, but it's really easy to get infinite mana in colorless. That's the easiest thing. TDFHJD Marrow Gnar. What, gnawing on the kitchen table leg? This is a 5 mana 2/3. All rats have fear. That's fantastic. Well, basically means all rats are sort of unblockable. Tap, sacrifice a rat, put X 1/1 black rat creature tokens into play, where X is the number of rats you control. It's basically Kranko. This is Kranko. This is a 1-card army. It's a one. I mean, it does everything. It builds your board and it makes them borderline unblockable. Too expensive? Nah. What, in black? Never. Okay, next up, let's get Quill with Crack the Earth. I await your wisdom on how to break this. Absolutely. It's a red sorcery. It's an arcane card. Each player sacrifices a permanent. Stone Rain. It's a 1-mana Stone Rain, but you just don't care about the sacrifice thing. So, like, if your opponent plays something for 1 mana, or even doesn't play anything for 1 mana, it's one of the very few cards that can blow up a land on turn 1. You have to play this. What's that land that if you sacrifice, you get a land out of it? I can't remember. What was that? What is that card called? Land sacrifice. When it's put in the grave. When put into graveyard, look for basic land or something like that. What the hell is that card called? Anyone know what I'm talking about? Searching the internet, and the internet is not, maybe it was a plains. Look for basic plains. Look for a plains card. Was it Mistfield Plains? No. Flagstones of Trocare. Flagstones of Trocare. That's it. This card is very often seen in Flagstone of Trocare decks, where you're going to sacrifice a permanent, but you don't care. Because when Flagstones of Trocare is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you can search your library for a plains card, put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle your library. I'm pretty sure this actually saw modern play for a second. Like, it made a top 8. It was a Boros Boom deck. I couldn't remember. There's some sort of boom. This is called Boom. Yeah, Boom Bust. That's what it's called. It was in a Boom Bust deck. It was specifically a Ponza deck. But then if your opponent's like land count was low, Crack the Earth was like just the icing on the cake. Will Anderson, Nikachu, can you explain how Blood Cloak is a good card, worth 4 mana? Easily. But first off, this is a Demon Spirit. There's not a lot of cards you can have Demon and Spirit at the same time. 4 mana. When it comes into play, sacrifice any number of permanents, and Shimatsu comes into play with that many +1/+1 counters on it. You're going to want to play this in a deck that has a lot of Undying or Persist, or anything that has, like, leave the battlefield triggers. So this is your enabler. You set up this entire board of stuff that you want to sacrifice, and this can be one of the sacrifice outlets in said deck. You know, in addition to other sacrifice outlets. I imagine this isn't like a Jund deck or something. Oh, is this the wrong card? Blood Clock. Oh, Blood Clock? Well, this card is good too. Okay, Blood Clock. Was this also 4 mana? It was also 4 mana. Look, I got tricked. You can see where I went wrong there. Okay, Blood Clock, 4 mana artifact. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player returns a permanent they control to their owner's hand unless they pay 2 life. There is a card out there that you can't pay 2 life. Players may not pay life. Or what's it? It's a good. What's the card that says players cannot pay life? Was it Angel of Jubilation? Players can't. Maybe it was Angel of Jubilation. I think there was another card. So also 4 mana. So in the same ballpark. Angel of Jubilation says players can't pay life or sacrifice creatures to cast spells or activate. No, this is wrong. Oh, is it Karn Silex? I think it was me. Okay, I think you're right. Karn Silex is a 3 mana. Players can't pay life to cast spells or to activate abilities that aren't mana. But they're not activating. This is a triggered ability. I don't think this works because this is a triggered ability. Was there another one? Well, maybe not. Maybe this doesn't work. Maybe this is. I was hoping that I could lock somebody out by not letting them pay life, so they have to return a permanent back to their hand. But if you this card in general is going to be put in a deck where you are making more permanents than your opponents. So if you're like making like several tokens a turn, like for example that rat card, where's that rat card? So you're like sacrificing a rat and making a ton of rats, whereas your opponents may not be making so many permanents per turn. This is where this card is going to work. Next up, Kagan with Personal Incarnation. How is this good nowadays? It's getting personal. Oh, this old card. 6 mana for a 6/6 Avatar Incarnation. 0 mana. The next 1 damage that would be dealt to Personal Incarnation this turn is dealt to its owner instead. Any player may activate this ability, but only if they own Personal Incarnation. When Personal Incarnation is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, its owner loses half their life rounded up. What I would say is if you can make yourself invincible, then this creature is invincible. Simple as that. It might as well say 6/6 indestructible. Might as well. Oh, the last one is a landfall card too. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, return lands back to your hand. Get those landfall triggers. Landfall are us. And remember, white is the type of deck that's going to make themselves invincible to damage. So 100% this is playable. Like, how much would you spend for an indestructible creature? It's usually like 6, 7, 8, 9 mana, right? There you go. Next up, we've got Bryce with Vexing Devil. When this creature enters, any opponent may have it deal 4 damage to them. If a player does, sacrifice this creature. The purpose of this card, for the most part, is you got to play it in a game where no one's going to want to sacrifice that life. And in my opinion, it would be Commander. Nobody is going to take 4 damage to kill this thing. Everyone's life is incredibly precious. If you're playing on 1-on-1, that's fine. There is only one opponent. Because the thing is, in a 4-player game, nobody knows where this thing is going. Nobody knows, so no one's going to take the hit. Everyone's going to use the psychology. Well, the odds of it going to be me getting hit with this card is basically 33%. There's a 66% chance it's not going to hit me. I'm not going to pay the life. So you gotta go psychological with this card. Trisaru, counterpoint. It's not really that good in burn because they'll just pay, like, because that's the thing. In burn, like, if it's worth 4 damage, then they'll just take the 4 damage once and then never again. Or they'll let it resolve and they'll just kill it if they can remove it. It, like, never does what you want it to do. So I think it'll work most of the time in Commander because nobody wants to be the one paying the 4 life. Okay, counterpoint. 5 mana instant counter target spell. They've been denied. You've been denied your application. You may cast a creature, instant, sorcery, or planeswalker spell from your graveyard with mana value less than or equal to that spell's mana value without paying its mana cost. This is great. This is actually super underrated. It's a counter spell and some sort. It's like almost like a Snapcaster Mage. Like Snapcaster Mage itself, what, you'd pay 2 mana to play Snapcaster Mage, then pay another 2 to 3 mana to cast a card from your graveyard, and you can cast planeswalker cards. Cast without paying its mana value. We cast the planeswalker at instant speed? You can cast a creature, instant, sorcerer, or planeswalker from your graveyard with mana value. It looks like you can, because otherwise you can't counter a spell at sorcery speed. That's impossible. Voltland with Divine Intervention. Isn't this really good? This is like, hey, if there's a situation you can't win, just lock up the game. 8 mana enchantment. Divine Intervention enters the battlefield with 2 intervention counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove an intervention counter from Divine Intervention. If there are no intervention counters on it, the game is a draw. So the deal is, if you've wound up into a game that you know you can't win for any reason, like, I don't know, some enchantment or artifact on the battlefield preventing you from making your own victory with your own win con, you'd be like, screw it. Okay, I have an out. Divine Intervention. I'm not going to win this game, but I ain't losing it either. Play Divine Intervention. Hopefully use some sort of mechanic to remove the counters and quickly turn the game into a draw. A draw is better than a loss. Next, we have a super chat from Croker Games. Is black blocking card combo with invasion plans? What the hell are you talking about? Invasion plans from Croker Games. 3-mana enchantment. Each creature blocks whenever able. Attacking player chooses how creatures block. Each creature blocks. Oh, I see. So creatures have to block, and then the attacking player chooses how each creature blocks. Fascinating. You have to play this in a deck where your creatures are basically invincible. They're either indestructible, or they have outrageous amount of toughness, or whenever damage is dealt to it, it just makes them bigger and stronger. What would that be? The Rampage mechanic? So there's a lot of ways that you can play this card in such a way that you can take advantage of your opponents, but your opponents can't take advantage of you. That's how it's going to work around here. I was talking about does it combo with something? Oh, what is the card? Pretender's Claim for the black spell. Let's look at Pretender's Claim. Oh, does it combo with this? Whenever enchanted creature becomes blocked, tap all land defending player controls. There we go. There we go. The combos make themselves around here. The combos make themselves. Jess! False Memories. Two-mana instant. Put the top 7 cards of your library into your graveyard. At end of turn, remove 7 cards in your graveyard from the game. You are essentially just digging for the important cards. This could be, in theory, played in Dredge, where you play False Memories first, because it says at the end, you can play it at instant speed. At end of turn, remove 7 cards in your graveyard from the game. What that means is at the beginning of the end step. So what you do is at the end of your opponent's turn, play False Memories, build your graveyard big. 7 cards is a lot for a deck that wants to use their graveyard. On your turn, delve, use Threshold, Delirium, reanimate cards from your graveyard, whatever you have to do, and make the use of it. And then when the graveyard goes away at end of turn, you don't care because you've already made the best of False Memories while it was good. And okay, next up, let's take a look at. Oh, Kagan has a super chat. Circling Vultures. That is the Black Delver of Secrets. Worth keeping graveyard order. Absolutely. You know, in pre-modern, you have to keep graveyard order. Circling Vultures is a black 3/2 flyer. During your upkeep, remove the top card. During your upkeep, remove the top creature card in your graveyard from the game, or bury Circling Vultures. If Circling Vultures is in your hand, you may discard it. Play this ability as an instant. I don't know how to put it, but like Delver of Secrets is like one of the best cards in the game because it's a black 3/2, and this is just the same thing. Great beatdown card. Benjamin Berkey is like, please explain why Break Open is good. But you're gonna have to play this in a deck that self-mills a lot, so yeah, you keep feeding your graveyard. Remove the top creature card. Yeah, the top creature card. It doesn't really matter which creature it is. Okay, Break Open. Tell you what you need this for. So 2-mana instant. Turn target face down creature and opponent controls face up. I was prepared for this question. You need to play this in the Kadena Slinking Sorcerer metagame. This is a morph card. 4 mana, 3/3. Now, the first face down creature spell you cast each turn costs 3 less to cast. If someone's playing this deck, you're actually best off to play Break Open, because a lot of these stupid morph cards, whenever a face down creature enters the battlefield, they draw a card. So they're always going to have a face down creature in play, and you need to know what the hell is going on here. It could be a counter spell, it could be a redirect spell, it could be anything. It could be even a boat. So Break Open reveals the sneaky secrets from the Kadena Slinking Sorcerer deck. Commandeer? That's a good card. It's too good for the show. Very, very good. You literally take control of a card. Mind Bend. This is Mana Screw. You don't know how to play Mind Bend? You don't know the power of Mind Bend? Mind Bend is a blue instant that turns people's lands into wastes. Instant. Change the text of target permanent by replacing all instances of one color word with another or one basic land type with another. So effectively, if something says island and your opponent is playing a blue deck, you can turn it into a forest. And if they don't have green mana, it's basically the same as a wastes. So it's an instant speed, basically is close to a wasteland against basic lands, which are hard to interact with, by the way. Wasteland doesn't hit basic lands, but Mind Bend does. One of the very few cards to screw over basic lands. Mind Bend can change the protection from a color into another color. That's also true. It can do that. In my opinion, that's more janky, though. I think Mind Bending someone's mana is way more effective, and it's infinite. It'll happen for forever. Philip just joined. Vizorix. Oh, sorry, Vizordrix. Oh, it's the bunny. The 7 mana 6/6. It's good for. I don't remember what is the Vanilla Lord. There's literally a Vanilla Lord out there. I don't remember what it's called though. This is just very important for the. It's not a bad win condition in blue. They don't get a whole. You know, in blue, if you wanted a 6/6 or better creature, you have to play Commutative Upkeep, some sort of upkeep, return 2 lands, and play sack lands to untap it, sack lands to attack with it. You literally get everything you possibly get in a big, beefy creature for blue without actually sacrificing anything. Next, Nathan with Great Wall. Great Wall. 3 mana. Creatures with Planeswalk may be blocked as if they did not have this ability. It's a very niche card. It's a very, 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 very niche card. That's all I'm just going to say. All right. Basically, unblockable creatures, they now can be blocked. There's not a whole lot of creatures, but it's very powerful versus those very few. Next, let's take a look at... Oh, Bell just joined us. Nefarious Lich. Oh, I have a few more things to say about Great Wall. This is good in an enchantment, like Enchantress deck, where the whole deck is going to be filled with enchantment. So it's just basically a free roll. You're probably going to draw a few cards off of this Great Wall. Okay, Nefarious Lich, a 4-mana enchantment. If you'd be dealt damage, remove that many cards in your graveyard from the game instead. If you can't, you lose the game. If you would gain life, draw that many cards instead. I love drawing cards. When Nefarious Lich leaves play, you lose the game. So I will just say that it is very important to be playing with stifle effects in with this type of card. So if I were playing Nefarious Lich, I would 100% play blue. You need to be playing with what? Stifle. I'd play with Stifle. If it's gonna load. Stifle, Tishana's Tidebinder. What else is there? These are all cards that can counter triggered abilities. There's also what's that bird wizard? I don't remember the bird wizard, but it cycles for 3 mana and counters triggers. So you were free rolling this thing. Like if you would when you still have to get rid of the enchantment at the same time or it'll trigger again, but you can still counter the damn trigger. So sorry, when it leaves play, so no, except for when it leaves play. When it leaves play, you lose the game. No, you're not going to lose the game because we are going to counter it with Stifle and Tishana's Tidebinder. So you're just free rolling on the whole damn thing. Superfield says play with white to give can't lose the game this turn, life protection, life gain, and massive card advantage. I love that too. That's an awesome suggestion there, Superfield. 1,000,000%. Might work with the other Lich cards. It might. Alan with Bill Fernie. See, these Lich cards are good. You just need a backup plan. That's all you need is the backup plan. Ooh, the Lord of the Rings card. They're all, don't you know, Lord of the Rings are all broken. 2 mana for a 2/1 human rogue. When it enters the battlefield. Bill Fernie, Bree Swindler. I don't remember this guy from the movie. Create a token. Oh, sorry. When he becomes blocked, choose one. Create a treasure token, or target opponent gains control of target horse you control. If they do, remove Bill Fernie from combat and create 3 treasure tokens. So the deal is, you know what horse we're gonna give them? Oh, I think it's the Crone horse. You gotta play this in your horse deck. Your evil horse deck. Oh, it was, what was it? Oh, it was a Crone. Akroan. You're gonna give them the Crone horse. And when it enters the battlefield, the opponent. Oh, we can't give it to them. We're giving it to them immediately anyway. Okay, if they somehow give it to us, we give it back. Ugh, there's no good horse to give them. Free treasure? No, we have to give them a horse. What horse are we giving them? How many blue horses are there? Not many. Well, you can give them a changeling. That's the easy, cheatsy way to do it. But I really wanted to give them the actual Crone horse. So you give them a changeling, and you get 3 treasures. There's a lot of there's a lot of horses in this game when you really think about it. I'll tell you what. You're probably going to be playing what's called Moth Dust Changeling. There we go. When you'll see it. Horses as the kindred play. There you go. You're gonna play this changeling. It's a 1 mana blue. Curves perfectly. The deck builds itself. Next up, Kagan with surely you won't say Mysterious Tome is good. You never know. Oh, we're actually over time. I didn't even realize. That's okay. We still have super chats. 13 valid. Look, the horse deck. It's still in the works. It's still in the works. Oh man, it was a tome. Tome. Tomb and tome, 2 different things. Okay, for 5 mana, what are we getting here? It's going to be amazing. It's an artifact. Okay, pay 1. Tap. Target non-land permanent. Transform Chilling Chronicle. Oh, is there anything that triggers? Pay 1. Tap. Target non-land permanent. We can even tap Planeswalkers if that's even necessary. And then we transform this thing. So what it is it's a 3 mana... what's it called? It's a 3 mana Icy Manipulator. It's a little bit more expensive, but, you know, it's not to be underestimated. I want some synergy with this thing, though. What else can I do with this? Oh, you draw a card! Oh my god! Oh, nothing has to be said here. It's Icy Manipulator plus card draw. Don't you know that Icy Manipulator was like one of the most broken cards of all time? It's 4 mana. Look, 4 mana, artifact, pay 1, tap, target artifact, creature, or land. We can tap like any non-land permanent, but we're actually getting paid to do it. We're actually getting a paycheck at the end of all this. It's not clunky. It's like 3 mana. It's just literally 3 mana. Once every other turn, but whatever. There's going to be a lot of ways we can untap this thing. We're going to untap this thing with Voltaic Key. It's going to be in our blue artifact deck. It has synergy with Urza's Saga and Emery. Emery can find it. The extra card advantage. You have to believe. If you don't believe, you're going to fall to the wayside. Okay. Jack with Ruxa. Patient Professor is the Vanilla Lord. Ah, that's what I was... See, all the vanilla cards are way better than you think because of Ruxa. The Bear Druid. Enter the battlefield or attacks. Return target creature card with no abilities from your graveyard to hand. So you can never get rid of them. And creatures you control with no abilities get +1/+1. Are you sweating? Are you sweating now? And then you may have creatures you control with no abilities assign their combat damage as though they weren't blocked.
No! God, please, no!
So anyway, there we go. Basically, it buffs up and makes unblockable all our vanilla creatures. Super powerful. Okay, with that super chat, let's donate that one. Let's donate with Magic Nation wants Flumph. Flumphed specifically. Maybe it's just Flumph. What's wrong with Flumph? It's 2 mana, 0/4, defender and flying, and whenever it's dealt damage, you and target opponent each draw a card. But you have to play this in a deck where your opponents are going to be screwed for having extra cards, but you're not. Again, like Black Vise cards. Let's also put like what's it called? Not propaganda. Laboratory something. Oh, Arcane Laboratory. Each player can't play more than one spell each turn, but you can still use the cards because you're using them for activated abilities through through something. Your cards are going to be played through activated abilities or reanimating cards from the graveyard, not by actually casting cards. So you can use the cards your opponents can't. This is very, very much a build around card. Bonovsky with Little Girl. Oh my god. It's not a real card. It's fake. It was never meant to be real. But if anything, can we make this a cop? Oh, you know what you can do with this? Oh, what's that card called? It's a blue card where you can target every creature in play becomes a copy of this creature. So you can shrink everything in play. And the art is George Costanza. I don't remember what it's called though. What was it like? Each creature in play becomes a copy of target creature. Blue card. Do your thing, Google. Do your thing. Oh, I don't see it here. Where's the George Costanza? Mirrorweave. There we go. It's a Mirrorweave target. George Costanza, ladies and gentlemen. 4 mana instant. Each other creature becomes a copy of target non-legendary creature until end of turn. And this, by all means, is just some random girl. But anyway, disqualified. Oh, man. We're not done yet. I don't want to hear this song. Not in the mood. We need a better song. Okay, this one's goofy. For today's goofy show. Okay, we're going to donate the super chat. Marco with Hate Flyer. Am I the only one to make it combo with Zerda? Oh, is it Hate Flare? Hate Flare. And Paradise Mantle and Experimental Cry and Cameo of the Whispered Hopes. Oh, Marco, sounds like you are bragging about this card, if anything. Okay, it's a 7 mana 5/5 with Wither, and it's got the untap ability. You are right. Paradise Mantle, a great combo with it. 3 mana untap. Hate Flare deals damage equal to its power to target creature or player. It's going to kill them instantly. Very underrated card. Not a lot of cards out there. Not a lot of cards out there that allow you to untap the creature. Crowcore Games with Sin Spira's Punishment. Sin Spira. I hardly use it in the deck I made for it. It's nuts, but the problem is it's 7 mana and the deck works way better even without it. Yeah, funny how Magic works like that sometimes. 7 mana for a 7/7. Well, the problem is you made your deck too good. And honestly, I think you made a good deck, Crowcore Games. No one should be dependent on their commander. If anyone's dependent on their commander, they built their deck wrong. I understand you chose the commander because you want to build around it. But if you then they become the type of people like, don't touch my commander, don't kill my commander. Well, you don't want me to play the game? Well, you can play the game without your commander. Sin, Spire's Punishment, 7 mana 7/7. Flyer. That's great. Enters or attacks, exile a permanent card from your graveyard at random, then create a tap token that's a copy of that card. If the exiled card is a land card, repeat the process. Oh, wow. That's broken. It's absolutely broken. Like I said, for a lot of these other cards, if you can sculpt your graveyard properly, it's even better, actually, than... hold on. exile or tax exile a permanent card from, yeah, just your graveyard. If you just leave one good card in your graveyard, like a good creature, and a bunch of lands, this is super value. Like a lot of these other cards I was talking about where you get to play a card at or grab a card at random from your graveyard, you literally had to have nothing but that one card in your graveyard. But this card lets you play the lands, all the lands. So if you have like 6 lands, 1 creature, you're going to have massive ramp. Massive ramp and the creature at the same time. So I think it's worth it. Dredge, go Burr basically in the deck. That's possible. Problem is 7 mana. Mana rocks, people. Mana rocks. Ellis. I'll give you a card. Cabal Therapist. It is a black 1/1 horror menace creature. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you may sacrifice a creature. When you do, choose a non-land card name. Then target player reveals their hand and discards all cards with that name. I think this is very bad in one-on-one Magic, like 60-card Magic. I think this card gets a lot better in Commander, where you need like extra Cabal therapies to either protect your combo or protect yourself against a combo deck. Not to mention, you can sacrifice anything. So, and you know, it protects you versus people's more clunkier cards, like for example, Sin Spire's Punishment if that's in their hand, which probably it isn't because it's their commander. But if they have some big bomb, you're going to be prepared. You might be going in blind the first time, which you might not, by the way. If someone tutored for a card they put on top of their deck because the tutor was cheap but the card is expensive, you'll be ready with the Cabal Therapist. You may not be ready until next turn, but you know what? It will be worth waiting for. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. I think I defended all these bad cards. As usual, we do these shows weekdays, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. And also, thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people are part of the show, thank you so much for being part of the community. And of course, thanks to everyone for their suggestions. People like Steve Cooper. We got Grave Rune, Crocor Games, Toads, Sheelan, Old Boy, Christopher B, Benjamin Berkey, Sheelan, Little Deadfly, Bell, Jack Solaris, Hexanort, David Sampson, Jess, and more. Thank you so much for being here today. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing those coffees. I'm going to keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.